you ever read Plain Speaking?
No, but it sounds like it's really like.
It is, and that, anyway, I'll talk to you
Because
another
that
time.
kind of use no purpose for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Regular meeting, Clear Lake City Council of Monday, July 6th, 2020 shall come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before I ask for approval, telephonically tonight, we have Chief Roth, Mr. Weigel, and Mr. Schreck. And council, after consent agenda, will slip in kind of 3B there, which will be citizens' opportunity, and then we'll go to unfinished business. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda as stated.
So moved.
Moved by Dana, seconded by Mark, that we approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. To the consent agenda, you have a copy of the minutes of June 15 and 26 of 2020. We need approval of the bills and claims, of which you also have a copy. Following licenses and permits: liquor license, Class C beer permit, Class B wine permit with Sunday sales. That's Weathered Elements. That's a renewal. We have an excavator's license. Helps Drain and Septic, Clear Lake, Cole Excavating, Green, and Jennings Excavating, Clear Lake. Those are all renewals. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Bennett, seconded by Mark, that we approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Now is the time and place for any citizen in the audience who wishes to address the council on any issue or concern. Please approach the podium, state your name first and last so the clerk can properly enter it in the minutes. This is not a discussion time, nor a question and answer time, but an opportunity for you to state your issue or concern to the council, and they will take that under advisement. Welcome.
Good evening, council. My name is Aaron Emmert, and my proposition would be for a traffic sign to be put on 7th Avenue North at the Pilot. I would like to have a sign put there stating that autos should proceed with caution, because on June 19th of 2020, I was involved in an accident caused by a semi crossing over into the lane, and I feel if a sign had been there, it could have been prevented, and so I would like that to be prevented for somebody else in the future.
Okay. Thank you. Could I have could you spell your last name, please?
E-M-M-E-R-T.
And your address, please?
1006 North Delaware Ave, Mason City, 50401.
So are you talking about a stop in Clear Lake then?
Yes.
All right, okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Anyone else in the audience wishes to address the council this evening? None appearing, we'll move on to unfinished business, of which we have none. We'll go to new business, number 5A, Early Retirement Incentive Program Review. Mr. Flory, welcome, Scott.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Council, first blue sheet in your packet addresses this item. About
every 3 or 4 years, we have interest expressed by employees in a early retirement incentive offering. And I think in the time that I've been here, we've offered 4 or 5 maybe different programs, all of them, no iteration, the same, identical. So this is another proposal for an early retirement incentive program. Again, we've had some interest expressed by some employees in that. So I'll just kind of go over it again. I think the key is that the blue sheet in your packet, this is a voluntary process that enables employees who wish to retire but cannot do so because of medical insurance coverage concerns, enables them that opportunity to do so. Under this policy, eligible employees would have to retire from employment with the city between August 1st of this year and September 30th of this year. And also notice of intent to retire under the program would have to be filed with myself by July 17th. Eligibility requirements: be eligible to full-time equivalent and benefited positions with the city. Eligible participants would have to be at least age 56 or older upon their date of retirement and have not less than 25 years of continuous employment with the city. Those who would be eligible to participate and would elect to participate would get these following benefits. So at age 60, remain on the city's health insurance plan for up to 5 years, but in no case past the age of 65. Again, and we've had this in the past where eligible employees wish to continue on under a family plan. They're able to do so, but that would be at their added cost. Again, this would only be for a single policy. An employee that retires prior to the age of 60 can utilize post-retirement accumulated paid leave conversion credit program. We had that in one previous policy. Essentially what that allows is that an employee can utilize their banked accrued time, including sick time, vacation, personal, and comp time that would convert to a dollar value, and they could utilize that to pay insurance premiums. And that employees who wish to enroll in the voluntary retirement incentive program, as always, we have a waiver form that releases the city of, there's a number of federal acts and state acts to be concerned about with these kinds of programs. So it's basically just a waiver of release, if you will, under those different acts and programs. So. And that, again, it's a release and a waiver that they're signing in consideration of the benefits that they would get under the program here. So I guess I don't have anything further on that unless anybody has any questions. I think we've got probably 3 employees that would be covered under this. I think there's definitely good interest in it. I would expect 1 or more to be very interested.
Council, any questions for Scott? Thank you, Scott. Therefore, I entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2044, a resolution approving an early retirement incentive program for Clear Lake City employees. Motion, please.
So, second.
Moved by Dana, seconded by Gary, that we approve Resolution 2044. Is there any discussion? Roll call. Mark?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
Bennett? And Gary?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Resolution 2044 is duly adopted. 5B, preliminary and final plat, gated Y subdivision, 3305 Main Avenue. Review of proposal, recommendation from P&Z Commission. Mr. Ritter. Mr. Ritter, are you there?
Yes, I am, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
The subdivision is on East Main, a small 2-acre lot being divided into 4 parcels. It's zoned highway commercial, utilities to lot, and pretty simple, small little addition on there too. It's been through planning and zoning at our last meeting on the 30th, and it was approved at that point, and now we're looking for council's approval.
Council, any questions for Mr. Ritter? As you can see, Council, in your packet, you do have maps, and the resolution is listed there. If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve preliminary plat by the City Council. Motion, please.
Second.
Moved by Mark, seconded by Dana, that we approve the preliminary plat for the gated Y subdivision, 3305 Main Avenue. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. And now we'll come down and need a motion to approve Resolution 2045, a resolution approving the final plat for gated Y subdivision in the city of Clear Lake, Saragordo County. Motion, please.
Second.
Moved by Bennett, seconded by Dana, that we approve Resolution 2045. Is there any discussion? Roll call. Mike?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
And Mark?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Resolution 2045 is duly adopted. 5C, 4th Avenue South, South 3rd Street, and Four Winds Drive Street Rehabilitation Project. Intro, Mr. Flory.
Thank you, Mayor. Just run through the items in your packet, then Mr. Petersburg is also going to review some things with you. So the first pink sheet in your packet is a resolution accepting the work. If you recall, this is a project that the council had awarded to Heartland Asphalt in Mason City back at your council meeting on April 6th. Again, as the mayor indicated, this was for road rehabilitation improvements on 4th Avenue South, South 3rd Street, and also some pretty significant patching work that took place out in the Four Winds Drive subdivision. Total amount of the work, value of the work completed was $214,557.60. The backside of that resolution is a certificate of completion, again assigned by the project consultant Jason Petersburg with Feenstra and Kim, again just indicating that the work was completed in substantial compliance with the project's previously approved plans and specifications, and again the dollar value of the amount of the work completed on the project. The next item is a change order. Jason will go over with you here. It's pretty small change order, involves some work on one of the manholes. The next sheet is the final pay estimate for the project. Final pay estimate was number 2, just 2 pay estimates on this project. And I don't have anything further in terms of background information. I just note that the project did come in about $5,000 less. So we had the original contract amount was $218,794, and we had the change order, so that increased the total amount to $219,544. But the actual value of the work completed was, again, that figure I mentioned earlier, which is about $5,000 less than what that revised contract amount is. So again, come in under budget on this one. So. I don't have anything further. I do know Jason, Mike's asked about it a couple of times. His guys have been down there doing some inspections on the sidewalk, got some letters to go out. There wasn't that many, but there's some defective sidewalk on the project, so we're going to follow up on that. But that's probably the only unresolved item on the project yet. But yeah, I think it was a good project, turned out really well. I know a couple of these streets have been kind of a issue for some time, that we've talked about. In particular, they're just west of South 8th Street on 4th Avenue South, been pretty beat up for quite a while. And South 3rd Street was probably one of the final pieces of downtown that had never had any improvements to it. So, that's a really nice, smooth street now. And, again, Four Winds Drive turned out real well as well. So I think it was a real good project for us.
Council, any questions for Scott? Thank you, Scott. Review of pay estimate number 2, change order number 1, and recommendation to accept the work. Jason Petersburg, Beanstra, and Kim. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. As Scott indicated, all work on the 4th Avenue South, South 3rd Street, as well as Four Winds Drive patching project has been completed by Heartland Asphalt. All in all, construction went well. All work was completed on time. Change order 1 in your packets is for additional work required to repair one of the sanitary sewer manholes on South 3rd Street. After they removed the casting on top, the existing brick was found to be severely deteriorated and in need of repair. So they removed about the top 18 inches of the manhole and then rebuilt that up with new brick. Cost of this work was $750. Also in your packets is pay estimate number 2, which is the final pay estimate for the project. The final value of work completed is $214,557.60, which is about $5,000 less than the original contract amount. Subtracting out pay estimate 1 and the retainage makes the amount due this estimate $49,870.34. VNK recommends approval of the change order, pay estimate, as well as resolution accepting work on
Council, any questions for Jason?
Just a quick one. The Four Winds area has had some troublesome drainage spots. Did the patching have any impact on mitigating any of that? No. So just a matter of trying to keep the road up.
We
Okay.
filled in the gravel spots as this patching
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
As little as we could get by with.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
However, there was a drainage issue in kind of the southwest part of that last year, I believe. That was handled not by us, but by the owners. So that was
Good.
taken care of.
Good. I know that's been an ongoing discussion for the 13 years I've sat here, so sounds like a good thing.
Any other questions for Jason? Thank you.
Yeah, we did complete the sidewalk inspections. Last week of June, we went in there and did that. And like Scott indicated, all in all, they're not in terrible shape. There's probably 3 properties where there's 30 or 40-foot segments that need to be replaced. And then other than that, it's a panel here and a panel there. So there will be some letters that will need to be sent out. We're going to be working with city staff here in the near future to get those notices put together and sent out.
And are we planning on partnering with them? Sure. Well, I personally think this is a good approach. We've fixed a lot of sidewalks in recent time with this approach, so thank you. And I know everybody gets tired of hearing me talk about it, but I still think it's a very good thing, so. You know, I find the older I get, the more good sidewalks are important, so thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Therefore, entertain a motion to approve pay estimate number 2 and change order number 1 with regard to 4th Avenue South, South 3rd Street and Four Winds Drive Street Rehabilitation Project, and pay estimate, change order number 1 is in the amount of $750, and pay estimate number 2 is in the amount of $49,870.34. They both go, of course, to Heartland Asphalt, the contractor on the job. Motion, please.
So offered.
Second.
Moved by Mike, seconded by Mark, that we approve pay estimate number 2 and change order number 1. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Now entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2046, which is a resolution accepting the work with regard to 4th Avenue South, South 3rd, and Four Winds Drive. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Bennett, seconded by Dana, that we approve Resolution 2046. Is there any discussion? Dana?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
And Mike?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Resolution 2046 is duly adopted. 5D, City Beach Enhancement Project Review of pay estimate number 5. Mr. Flory.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is the yellow sheets in your packet for this particular item. I'll give you an update from the project construction superintendent here in a moment, but let me get the right page here. So this is pay application is in the amount of $254,737.80. So this pay application includes completion of all the landscaping, site concrete work, site retaining wall, masonry, and cast stone. Also includes restroom finishes and specialties, restroom doors and windows, as well as can lighting and plumbing fixtures. The shade structure portion of the pay application includes sheet metal work, cedar ceiling, paint, and light fixtures. Splash pad work includes concrete stain, splash pad startup and training, as well as splash pad feature installation. So remaining work includes project closeout and aerator piping for the DNR aerator. So, I don't know if anyone has any questions on that. I'd be happy to answer those as best I can.
Council, any questions for Scott with regard to City Beach Enhancement Project? Thank you, Scott. Therefore, entertain a motion to approve pay estimate number 5 with regard to that enhancement project to Peterson Construction, Webster City, Iowa, in the amount of $254,737.80. Motion?
So move.
Moved by Gary, seconded by Mark, that we approve pay estimate number 5. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Chief Roth, report.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. You all should have had a single sheet here that highlights our preliminary numbers for the week of the June 30th through July 5th. Our complete stats for the month of May and June will be available for the next council meeting. We do have our new dispatch that we've been advertising. The applications will close this Wednesday. Initial interviews will be Monday and Tuesday, the 13th and 14th of July. And then from there, we'll go into backgrounds and get that process going and get that completed as soon as we can. I also want to remind everyone of storm signs will be tested tomorrow at 10 a.m. And if there's not any questions, that's all I have.
Council, any questions for Chief Roth? Thanks, Chief. On the mayor's report, we'll start out with Chad Schreck. Chad, are you there?
Yes, I am.
North Iowa Corridor. Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Just real quick, obviously we've seen an increase in the number of cases of the COVID situation. So one of the big initiatives we're making with our partners through Vision North Iowa, in partnership with the Chambers of Commerce, both in Clear Lake and Mason City, is the Mask of Wellness Initiative, just encouraging businesses and our community members to just recognize and take the necessary steps to just ensure public health. With the message that, public health really is economic health, and we don't want to see any of our businesses have to shut down or have any major issues. So just encouraging that. We also are starting an initiative to encourage them to adopt the program. And those that do will be providing actual masks that they could provide to customers, potentially to employees. So we're rolling some information about that out tomorrow and Wednesday. So there'll be more to come on that. But again, just trying to ensure safe practices and continue that message. We know everyone is kind of tired of it, but unfortunately we have seen a big increase. So I just want to encourage that and do everything we can to continue that message. So. On the bright side, we have seen continued positive momentum on projects and lead generation and things like that. And so we are seeing that kind of thing pick back up. It does seem like things are restarting. And also just really want to congratulate the city on the last two the big moments this past week with the ribbon cutting on the splash pad and obviously on the Marriott Hotel. Just really exciting things that, again, are just proof of what's possible and what we're doing here. So kudos to you all on all of that, and it's just really good momentum despite everything that's gone on. So looking forward to making good things happen.
Council, any questions for Chad? Thank you, Chad. Mr. Keefe, Clear Lake Fire Department. Welcome, Mike.
Mayor, Council, thank you. Just a report for June. Was a busy time for us. We had 133 calls. A couple interesting medical calls. We did have one of our paramedics we got called to a situation where an individual was choking, and one of our paramedics, Beth, was able to remove the obstruction with peanut butter and got the person breathing again and transported to the hospital, which turned out with great results for that. We had a rollover out there by Team Quest. A car rolled over. Two people trapped inside a car upside down. Took all 4 doors off the car, but we were able to get them out. Worked really well. The lady was hanging upside down in that car for probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes with their seat belts. So we had didn't cut them, we just unhooked them and were able to drop her out of the top of the car and take her out. Had a diesel spill out at one of our service stations. I want to thank Joe. I don't know if Joe's on the line or not. The guys brought out some sand for some cleanup. It was a major, Jim was on that call. It was a major situation as far as diesel fuel. The guy broke his tank. Trying to get out of a position he put himself in and ruptured the whole bottom of his gas tank, diesel fuel tank on one side. So he had a lot of fuel going. Able to get it stopped, put some sand on before it got to the creek. Had a medical at City Beach. Obviously, some of you you're aware of that. A 4-year-old was taken from City Beach. Everything went well there. Ryan, the paramedic, did a great job. Got the young individual in the ambulance, got him to the hospital right away. So that turned out to be a good outcome as well. We did have an assist to a boater on the lake. So we pulled them in. Also had a search on the lake for an individual that fell off a jet ski. He was pulled in by another boater and was taken off the lake. Had a house fire. Wasn't actually fireworks involved in it as far as starting the fire. However, it had a large quantity of fireworks inside the house. When the fire started, shot a bottle rocket right through the ceiling of the living room, started the attic on fire, put a hole right through the sheetrock and sent pieces into the living room, into the kitchen. So we did have a little bit of a problem there. I got the fire knocked down in a hurry. Had another vehicle situation where there was some fireworks in the back of a vehicle in a box. They disposed of them. There were fireworks in the back of a cardboard box and apparently wasn't out. Set the box on fire. We had a kind of an interesting 3 trips to the airport. If you were out there, we were able to stand by for the Vice President's visit to Forest City and got to see 2 of the big C-13 transports. Got to go walk around the inside of one. It's kind of amazing how big that machine is and what they can haul in there. We were there when they brought the limousines in and got to look at those. Afterwards, we obtained a little gift. One of the drivers was willing to give us a little memento of the trip, so we got the front flag off of the Vice President's car that we're going to put in our museum. We hope to put it up over there. It's going to say, to Mike, great job from Mike on it, and I get it signed or whatever. So nobody will ever know. See, I'm the only guy that never knows that, see? The other thing, we got some things coming up, too. We have a special speaker for 9/11. We know it's only going to be a few weeks before that's here for this year in 2020. We have a Secret Service agent that was at the White House at the time. He's going to be coming and giving a little talk. He's a friend of one of our firefighters. Talked to him, and he's willing to come. He's already sent us a program, what he's going to be talking about. And obviously, we have another big event coming up, and we're going to be asking for maybe some special proclamations or whatever. And 2021 is our 150th anniversary of our fire department. So we're looking for some big time things for that. We've already been talking about it at our committee meeting. Jim's on that. We've been talking about what we're going to do for that. One of the things we are going to do is we're going to have a real special 9/11 anniversary of that. It'll be 20 years for the 9/11, and it'll be 150th for us. We already have locked in a speaker from New York that was at the Twin Towers and was trapped twice, and so he's coming out to give us we hope will be a real inspirational talk at that point in time. We plan to have a number of things going on, from hopefully a parade of fire equipment to some special events at our station. We're going to be going around. Hopefully we can get a lot of interest throughout the state of Iowa for that. So keep you informed about what that goes on. I know it's a long time away, but it'll be here before you know it. So otherwise, we've been just busy, I guess. That's all I can say.
This weekend?
I was gone. Jim, wasn't bad, was it, Jim? Pretty uneventful. 3 fireworks-related calls. Obviously, we were down. Obviously, you didn't have the park, in the carnival and stuff, so we didn't have a lot of calls there. But otherwise, I think it was pretty good. We had a call today. Had a garage fire today that we went on, which I guess we can talk about it now. It's only July, isn't it? But we did have a garage fire today south of town, which relates to fireworks too. So.
That was not in town, it was out in county.
South of town, yep. And we assisted Ventura on a fire call, garage fire north of Ventura too. Lost 3 garages and one site up there too. So, and Anything else? Anybody has a question about it?
No?
All
Thank
right.
you, well
Okay.
done.
Thanks.
Thank you. Just want to go under Mayor's report still. Really a kind of a full week last week. The Monday, we had the groundbreaking for the Marriott Hotel and Event Center, and very, very pleased to have good turnout there. I think Scott said we had 11 gold shovels. Was that right? Somewhere in that neighborhood. And the team that will be constructing and managing the hotel were there, and that was neat to have, and that was well done. We had the splash pad kind of grand opening, if you will, on Friday morning at 10 o'clock down at the splash pad, and along with the construction people there who did a wonderful job, Peterson Construction out of Webster City, and Chamber of Commerce very gracefully kind of conducted that little ceremony that we had, and at the end, the splash pads were all fired up, so to speak, and it was a lot of fun watching the youngsters run around and run through that, and parents too, by the way. So what an addition both of those events were, you might say, start to our city, especially at this time of the year. Wonderful, wonderful things, and well reported. We are very, very happy to have that occur. Boat parade on July 4th. I believe that turned out all right, and seemed to be, about 100 plus boats that were in that, and kind of well received, at least from some of the social media that I've read about it. The group firework display at North Iowa Event Center, really, Scott was a big partner in that, shall we say. The County of Cerro Gordo chipped in, Mason City Council chipped in, and the Clear Lake Council chipped in for people to go over and watch that by primarily sitting in their cars at a distance, if you will. And from reports I've heard, that went off very, very well too. So thanks, Scott, and your leadership with regard to that as well. Just want to throw out, this didn't happen this year, and that's our 4th of July parade. But a gentleman that perhaps we all know here, Jim Jaden, was to be the parade, help me, Jen, marshal? Is that what and didn't have that opportunity. But Jim, as many of you know, has been a community member for years and years, he and his wife and family. He always was the one who organized the Dixie Fest during art sale in the city park, and brought in people brought in groups from all over the world many times to play for that. Now, I don't know how many people right here are into Dixieland music. I can recall a terrible song when I was a pledge in a fraternity, that's how they woke us up, blaring that stuff about 5 in the morning, which I disliked very, very much. But Jim seemed to have a way to bring in groups that played really, really excellent music for that. And Jim, sorry you didn't get into that parade, but you have done a lot for this community. And from a council standpoint, we thank you very, very much. Thanks. Mr. Weigel, Public Works Director's report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Can you hear me?
You could bark up a little more if you could, please.
Okay. How's that?
That's getting there. You're fine. Go ahead.
Just a couple updates on the project. The Highway 18 traffic signal and turn lanes is complete. The DOT did put together a punch list here roughly a week and a half ago and sent that on to the contractor. There's probably 10 to 15 miscellaneous items. I got to tweak a few cameras yet. And I tried to get confirmation today from the inspector, and I don't think the interconnect is synced on all the intersections yet. The new one there on the southbound ramp, I don't think that's been connected yet. But other than that, the fairly minor punch list items. I got some sign work to do within the DOT medians and stuff, and that project will be wrapped up. 7th Avenue North Storm Sewer, Woodford Lumber Project, contractors basically laying the 24-inch main line the last week. They got roughly 550 of the 620 feet laid, so they'll probably get the rest of the main line finished up tomorrow and then drop back and do the private work for the Woodford property with the extensions and intakes, et cetera. So, another thing, we took delivery of the tandem chassis and hook and lift system truck that was in the budget finally, the end of last week. The guys have used it roughly for a week, and that's going to be a very nice piece of equipment for us, used pretty much daily, so appreciate the purchase of that. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Joe, that storm sewer by the new Woodford Lumber Company, that will drain north to the drainage ditch, correct? District north of
Yeah,
the new,
drains east and then north there between MBT Bank and Thrifty White to the highway ditch, and then it runs under the highway and then down to the creek on by the Bennigan's there.
right. Council, any other questions for Mr. Weigel?
Just a quick one. Remind me when the digging is going to start on East Main Avenue.
They mobilized today, started doing some asphalt removals, downloaded several semis of the manhole intakes, et cetera. So, Jason might know more if they're going to actually start excavating on the sanitary sewer tomorrow, or probably mostly just street removals. But I would think by Wednesday they should be digging on the sanitary sewer.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Mr. Flory? Council, anything else? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.